with them. You'll find the links on the website, but you can also sign up to the ABC Rural newsletter there as well, and you'll get the best of our stories straight to your inbox each Friday. That's at the ABC Rural website or our Facebook page as well. That is the Rural Report for today. Have a good day. It's time for the latest news at 6:30.
A partly cloudy day today with just a slight chance of a shower in the north of our region. Hello, Claire Simmons with ABC Mid-North and Coffs Coast News. Oxley MP Michael Kemp says hundreds of people joined two Waterfall Way community meetings in Dorrigo and Bellingen last night. Mr Kemp told the meeting Transport for New South Wales plans to reopen a single lane of Waterfall Way before alternating works on Somerville's Way and the landslip site. Several Thora residents, including Ted Vaughan, say a permanent fix to repair the route will take more than 6 months. Mr Vaughan says engineers should consider bypassing the vulnerable Gordonville cutting.
There are no properties between Gordonville Crossing and the Horseshoe Road serviced by that road. So they don't need that road. So they need a bypass because it's going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. A bypass, very much less money.
The Clarence Valley Council will decide whether to waive a portion of development fees to support a proposed social housing project for seniors. Councillors will vote at the ordinary meeting this week on a recommendation to donate $15,000 of the waived council development fees towards the not-for-profit project. The project proponent, Clarence Village Limited, plans to build 32 modular housing units in South Grafton by the end of the year. The organisation's CEO, Duncan McKim, says the waived fees would help provide housing for older people in need.
We're hopeful that councillors will see that this is a social housing project in a part of Clarence Valley that really desperately needs it, and will find a way to support it, as they did in 2021 when they passed a resolution to support from the General Reserve.
The Royal Australian College of General Practitioners says measles outbreaks will continue if the vaccine rate continues to drop. The warning comes after a measles alert was issued by New South Wales Health for multiple locations across Coffs Harbour, Tormina and Bellingen. The college's Chair of Child Health, Dr Tim Jones, says 95% of the population needs to be vaccinated against measles to keep the community safe. He says the falling vaccination rate means the potentially deadly disease will continue to spread.
Now, across our country, we're down to somewhere in the 87% range, which just means there's enough people out there who can catch measles and keep spreading it around that we're going to keep seeing these outbreaks. And for me, that is the sadness.
The state's primary industries body is encouraging beekeepers to alternate what chemicals they use on their hives after the first confirmed case of chemical-resistant varroa mite. The Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development yesterday confirmed resistant mites were collected in the state's north. Pyrethroid is the main chemical used to treat beehives for the varroa pest that attacks honeybees. DPIRD honeybee specialist Elizabeth Frost says it is important beekeepers rotate chemicals used to avoid resistance.
Beekeepers, they get used to relying on one chemical control, for example. It's familiar, easy, and if they use it repeatedly back to back, then the surviving mite will likely develop some resistance to that chemical over time.
A Mid-North Coast Business Chamber says it is unlikely local shops and cafes will open on the new public holiday after Anzac Day. The state government is trialling the additional day off for the next 2 years as Anzac Day falls on a weekend both years. The Foster Tuncurry Business Chamber President Jessica Gray says it's unlikely small businesses will open on the new public holiday due to higher staffing costs.
They don't know if the nature of this public holiday will actually increase spending. So therefore it's a big risk, and I can see a lot of small businesses just choosing not to operate that day instead of taking the financial risk.
In other news today, Australian families with links to Islamic State fighters have been turned around shortly after leaving a refugee camp in Syria bound for Damascus. Syrian officials told them the route through Kurdish-held territory had not been cleared. And construction has begun on the new 300-bed Rouse Hill Hospital in Sydney's northwest, more than 10 years after it was initially promised by the then coalition government. Health Minister Ryan Park says doors are expected to open to patients in 2029. To the weather, a partly cloudy day today with just a slight chance of a shower in the north of our region. Top temperatures today: Grafton 28 degrees, Coffs Harbour 26, Dorrigo 22, Kempsey 27, Port Macquarie 26, Taree and Foster both heading for 27. To hear today's local news, search online for ABC Local.
Streaming